Thank you, Martin. I am here with 3 times World's Strongest Man, Bill Kazmaier, at our next event, the Giant Log Press. Now, this is a piece of equipment that we haven't seen in 8 years. It's going to provide a great indication of who could walk away with this year's title. So, Bill, talk us through what we are about to see.
Well, it's going to be a brutal event. It starts with 155 kilos, taken to the shoulders and pressed to arm's length for a down signal. That has to take place in a 60-second time period. Right from there, they're going to the world record, 175 and beyond. This will truly decide who is the greatest presser of our time, and there are some awesome pressers here today, world record plus.
It's going to be pretty tight at the top, but 3 athletes for you to look out for. Our current champs, Zdrunis Savickas, Misha Koklaev and Derek Poundstone.
The opening weight for all our competitors, 155. Nick Best got it easily, but couldn't go any higher. And neither could Jason Bergman of the United States. All of these guys trying to get 170, no successes so far. None for Terry Hollands. Another guy tying for 6th place overall. Irvin Katona, he too fell foul of 170 kilos. Then along came Travis Ortmeyer. Could this guy do it? Thought he'd got it the first time, then toppled over, and this was to be his last attempt in this event. Another 6th placer, an injured one at that. Then it looked easy for Stefan Solvi Peterson. 170 kilos to break the deadlock. Next up was Brian Shaw. He'd got 177.5, tried to go higher. A rare failure for the jovial American. Derek Poundstone did go higher at 185. Looking absolutely superb, but then tried to go 5 kilos heavier. Couldn't quite do it. Along came Savickas, considered by many to be the best overhead lifter in the world. Made 190 look easy. And then, what about the Russian, the Olympic weightlifter? Couldn't believe it. Koklaev, a failure? Never heard of. Went back a second time. No bets for guessing what happened. Successful at 190 kilos. 2 men still left in the competition. The giant log has moved on to 202.5 kilos. That's nearly 450 pounds. Koklaev yet to make his first attempt, but very interested to see how Savickas gets on. And when you talk about a giant log, this is the biggest log I've ever seen, Colin.
It is enormous. Wow, what pressing power from Big Z. And after Koklaev's near failure at 190, he must be a little worried now.
Very smooth, very slow, very steady. Rolls it up his chest, but what about the overhead press?
It's just all shoulders and triceps. Incredible power in the upper body.
So Koklaev has got to follow that. Savickas just sitting patiently, waiting.
Starts now.
Koklaev in 3rd place overall after the first 2 events. This fella's got the technique, but has he got the bottle?
He's got to hit it hard with the legs. Oh!
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we're getting in world record territory here. World record 215 with a metal log. Who knows what could happen? It's neck and neck between Iceland and Russia.
Well, you just have to love Koklaev. 190, nearly stumbles. Now look at him at 202.5, using that weightlifting background. And pushing Big Z all the way, loving it.
Well, Savickas knows he's in a fight for his life here for the points. 210 kilos now, Koklaev. I'll tell you what, I don't think there's a calmer man in South Africa at the moment than the Russian. Now, this guy's got the strength, the Russian has the technique, but this is an outrageous weight. Can he press it? Oh, my goodness. I can't believe how much strength he's got in his arms and shoulders.
Oh, Koklaev knows he's got to go out and do 210 kilos now. There's only one man in the world who's ever done that, and we're looking at him. Big Z. And look at the legs, still strapped from earlier in the heats when he hurt it. Everything had to come from the shoulders, and he managed it. Amazing.
I think we've just seen one of the greatest lifts ever in World's Strongest Man with Savickas. 210 kilos, and Koklaev has got to try and match it.
Starts now.
Every point in this competition is absolutely crucial. If he got this, we'd then be in world record territory. He hasn't got it. And I think that clean, that roll up to the chest there, just took a little bit too much out of him. He just seemed to run out of steam there.
Well, we're almost 20 kilos over where he nearly failed before. I'm just amazed he got it to his shoulders. He's giving it another crack. No, he knows it's over. That's it for Koklaev. The Russian has to hand it to the Lithuanian.
Safikas is the master. Big points, and that will move him up the table. Good second place, though, for Misha Koklaev of Russia. What a contest.
210 kilograms.
Absolutely fabulous, and this is what World's Strongest Man is all about. I think the crowd would have enjoyed that. I hope they did. It was phenomenal.
Well, look at Koklaev again at the end there. He wasn't going down without a fight, but 210 kilos is just too much for him.
Congratulations, Adrinas. You just refuse to be beaten in this event. You just do whatever it takes, don't you?
It's my favorite event. I always like this event, and my training results it's higher, so it was not so hard event. I know that I will lift what I need.
What theatre in Sun City, an amazing 210 kilos from Savikas. The previous record, a mere 175. 5 locked together in 6th place, among them Terry Hollands, 155 the maximum here. It's even tighter at the top. The Russian Koklaev in pole position, Savikas and Shaw within striking distance. Terry Hollands really needs to get going if he's to stand any chance of making the top half. Poundstone up to 6th. Who from Brian Shaw, Misha Koklaev, Zydrunas Savikas or Travis Ortmeyer can break the deadlock? The Whiskey Barrel Carry will reveal all. Welcome back to Sun City and the final of World's Strongest Man. It's been a barnstormer. American Brian Shaw started the drama in the opening event. He was the winner of the loading race until that mistake cost him dear. His countryman Travis Ortmeyer took full advantage. No mistakes from Shaw in the second event. An amazing time sealed the victory. He seemed pretty pleased too. Then before the break, one of the greatest events in WSM history, Zydrunas Savikas winning with an amazing 210 kilo lift, shattering the previous world record. The drama continued as Travis Ortmeyer crashed down with what was feared to be a broken ankle. The doctors gave it a thorough check, strapped it up, and it was thumbs up for the Texan. So the great news is that Travis Ortmeyer will continue, but how badly will that injury affect him physically, and perhaps more importantly, mentally? Because the next event is really going to hit him hard. It's the Whiskey Barrel Carry. 360 kilos of oak barrel need to be carried 20 metres down the course, then spin around and bring them all the way back again. One man who knows a thing or two about putting his body through pain is former World's Strongest Man, Bill Kazmar. Bill, Travis Ortmeyer's brain will probably be a scramble at the moment, wondering whether he can keep up with this. How badly is this going to affect him?
Well, if you just look at the weights, 360 in his hands plus his body weight, that's nearly 500 kilos coming down on that sore ankle. And depending on how bad it's hurt, it is his Achilles heel. It could just crumble. His brain will get the message, shut down, and he's through.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen to him. There are other big men in this event. Who do you see excelling at this?
Well, for sure, the American number 3 last year, Brian Shaw, and of course, the Russian Mikhail Koklaev. And then there's Zydrunas Savikas, who's the returning champion. These 3 guys are mountains of men and are really going to be ready to move a massive weight like this.
Big names there and big men. Difficult to pick a winner, but one thing we can guarantee, it's going to hurt a lot.
It certainly is. There are the rules. They're very simple. This massive weight, nearly 800 pounds, has to be carried down the course of 40 metres. And the maximum time allowable, 75 seconds. Fastest time wins. Well, Terry Hollands, unfortunately, had real problems. Those handles ripping his hands to shreds. And this fella, Derek Poundstone, didn't fare any better. He had a very poor result indeed. So there's the situation as we head to the final few. Only 2 men have managed to complete this course so far, Nick Best and Stefan Solvi Petersen of Iceland.
The USA, Travis
Well, Travis Ortmeyer has made the start line remarkably. I wonder how much he's hurting at the moment.
And in lane 2 from Lithuania,
Zydrunas Savickas. What a performance previously when he lifted that massive weight overhead. Wonder how much it's taken out of him.
Ready!
Here we go. I wonder how much balance has got to play here, Colin.
Oh, it's a big question of balance. You can see it rocking forwards and backwards. That takes a lot of forearm strength, grip strength to try and stop it from hitting the ground. And with 360 kilos, it's not easy.
Well, poor old Travis Ortmeyer is absolutely miles behind as Savickas heads for home. Just wobbling a little bit, but it's smooth enough. He's going to finish. And this is going to be a very fast time indeed. What a cracking time, 26.54. And this fella is suffering more and more as time goes on. He's still got trouble with his ankle, hasn't he? But Savickas really has set the bar high here, 26.54. I don't know if anybody can beat that. Phenomenal. Travis Ortmeyer, how much longer will his problems continue?
But Ortmeyer's left ankle really causing him problems. You can see he's dropped the weight there. It's just too much for him. As for Savickas, though, what a sprinter with this incredible weight.
In lane 1 from Russia, Mikhail Kuklayev.
Mikhail Kuklayev, the co-leader after first 3 events.
In lane 2 from the
This
USA.
is his very first World's Strongest Man appearance as well. Up against Brian Shaw, seeking a first World's Strongest Man title. This is a great head-to-head. And Kuklayev, well, he's been flying over the last couple of events. But as we were saying, Savickas has set the bar very high. A brilliant time by the Lithuanian. 26.54. And Shaw's going well. Kuklayev's going well. Both turning around exactly the same time. It's going to be neck and neck.
Well, who can get away first? It's Brian Shaw by just a hair. Oh, this is good. It's very quick. Kuklayev goes down, though.
And so does Shaw as well. He's not going to close the gap on Savickas, that is for sure. Making 2 or 3 mistakes towards the end. And look at that, after going so well, both of them have totally run out of gas. It's going to be close. It's got to go over the line. Shaw gets that one, followed by Kuklayev. My goodness, Savickas must have thought his lead was under threat there. So congratulations to Savickas, certainly in order. Kuklayev disappointing, I bet. 5th place at the moment. And Brian Shaw, if it hadn't been for that mistake, who knows what time he might have done.
Well, it's a catalogue of mistakes for Shaw. The sack, and now dropping the barrel. I think he just went a little too quick, and his hands, his grip couldn't handle it.
26.54 for Savickas. Is that the time that will seal his 2nd title? Brian Shaw suffers another lapse of concentration. Terry Hollands will be disappointed not to have finished, undone by a torn and bloody hand. Daylight between the champion and the contender now, and Kuklayev is still in with a chance of a debut title. Hollands is down in 9th after suffering that hand injury. Who will win it, though? Zoe is about to get an expert opinion.
Hi Sven, I know that you've been watching everything that's been going on so far in the finals, and of course we are at the stage where there's 2 events left to go. So how do you reckon our man Terry Hollands has been getting on? I'm not sure that we've seen the best out of him this year.
No, we haven't, because he has come out of a very serious injury. I probably have never ever seen anybody coming out of a biceps tear as fast as he has done now. So actually, I'm so amazed that he achieved what he has achieved already.
Probably won't be anywhere near the top 5, but 3 guys who most certainly will, Brian, Zydrunas and Misha, doing very well. What do you reckon of their performances so far in the final?
Well, it's been a little bit rocky ride for all of them. You know, Misha is probably the one who has done the best from what we thought he was going to do. Zydrunas have been struggling a small injury, and Brian has made a few mistakes. But it's going to be very interesting now, being so close on points, and both of them are very good at the last 2 events.
And what about our 10 finalists? Are they the 10 strongest men in the world? Have we got a great lineup this year?
Well, I put it this way, world's strongest man is definitely here. He's not at home.